Hello, I'm Julia Roberts, and I am a film star.
And I'm Elizabeth Liz Hurley, and I'm a film star too.
No, you're not.
I am. I was in Passenger 57
Yeah.
and Beyond Bedlam. It's a good film.
No. Try to les up now. Come on.
Wake up! Get out of bed, put on your clothes, another day is dawning. Turn on your TV, time to watch This Morning with Richard Not Judy. For better, not worse, it's live, not rehearsed, made for no money, not for anybody. Welcome your hosts, several Richards, do they have no idea? So let's see how they do on This Morning with Richard Not Judy.
I am Stewart Lee.
And my name is what? My name is what? My name is what? My name is
Can't be bothered with that. And coming up later in the show.
At 12:25, we'll be looking at another of Channel 5's original pieces of programming, One Man and His Dog, where the one man is H from Steps, and his dog is a very hungry Rottweiler.
And at 12:30, me and Rich will be looking forward to a nightmare vision of our own horrible future by watching the new BBC One Hale and Pace series.
No, my face! Pace has got my face, Stu!
Think of the money, Norman.
OK, at 12:40, we'll be sacking everyone at the BBC who has ever taken cocaine, leaving the station with a skeleton staff of 4 Aherd, Grandpa Flump and 1 of the Blue Peter Cat.
And at 12:49, we'll be meeting Britain's jauntiest shepherd.
Doesn't look particularly jaunty.
Yes, but look at that, look at his hat, the jaunty angle of it.
No, I don't agree with this week. And please welcome at the piano, music's answer to Rick Wakeman, pianist Richard Thomas.
You've been washing in gravy again, Richard, have you?
Yeah.
You never wash in gravy. Don't do that. Bad pianist.
I said pianist.
So did I.
What have you been up to this week, Stu?
Well, this week I've been going into every newsagents in the UK and taking down all the copies of this month's FHM that I can find with the cover of Gail Porter's scrawny Kentucky Fried Chicken, bargain bucket breast, airbrush bum, newly hat photos, raptor fetus body, and drawing a yashmak on it like that. And then putting them back on the shelf. Put your clothes on, Gail. Spare yourself a shred of dignity and spare the nation in turn the sick-making sight of your wrinkly walnut bum. You look like a tiny naked child. There's something very strange about it, and I don't want to see it at the shops first thing in the morning. What were you thinking of? Get dressed, wear a yashmak, and then let's see if you still get off with the live and kicking job.
Some kind of problem, Stu.
No problem.
The thing about you, you're puritanical, Stu. It's just a bit of fun, Martin. Harmless fun. You're a Puritan.
I am not a Puritan, Rich, at all. If anything, I'm jaunty.
You're talking, look at you, you've got a puritanical hat, a Bible and everything.
I'm not a Puritan. I just like the Puritan look, Rich. You know, it doesn't mean I'm a Puritan. It's like Lily Savage, right? He dresses up in women's clothes, but that doesn't mean he's a woman, does it?
What? Lily Savage isn't a woman?
No, he's not, no.
Oh, it's just that...
What?
Nothing, leave it, all right? Nothing, OK?
Anyway, what have you been up to this week?
Nothing, I said! Just forget it! Nothing happened, all right? It didn't happen.
A young man came up to me the other day and said, "What will my friends say when I tell them that I am a Christian?" "Oh, my poor young fellow," I replied, "they will say that you are a nerd and a wally and a fruitcake, and they will call you a brainless, foolish spamoid, and they will take down your trousers in the playground in front of all the girls, and they will rub sticky lollipops into your hair and then run away laughing, laughing, laughing. But later, when you become a TV vicar, they will regret their foolishness. Won't they, Simon Tufnell? Won't they, Martin Bird? Won't they, Alan Blackmore? Won't they, Geoffrey Webb? Won't they, Nicola Robinson? Won't they, oh, so witty, Mr. Tomkin from the PE department?" Could I have a bun, please, someone? Quick as you like.
Well, it's been a great year for breasts this year, hasn't it, Stu? Women can now have a little valve fitted under their arm, which can be used to inflate or deflate their breasts whenever they want.
Yes, of course, you've had a girlfriend with a valve who can be inflated and deflated some time now, haven't you, Rich?
No.
No, you see what I'm saying? I'm saying that your girlfriend is a blow-up doll.
No, that isn't true, Stuart.
No, it is.
I don't have a girlfriend.
No, you do, and it's a blow-up doll. That's my joke.
Yes, Stuart, it's right, it is true. I do have a blow-up doll for a girlfriend, but your joke sullies her reputation. That's all women are to you, isn't it? Sex objects.
No, Rich, that's all blow-up dolls are to me.
You can't treat a doll with respect. What hope do you have with a real woman?
Your argument doesn't make any sense. Blow-up women are sex objects by definition, Rich.
Well, mine isn't. We haven't actually been intimate yet. We're waiting for the right time, when it feels right for both of us. At the moment, I just take her out to dinner or to the movies, then I walk her home.
Walk her home?
Well, drag her home. Unless it's windy, in which case I tie a piece of string to her and sort of fly her back.
What, like a balloon?
Yeah, similar to that, yeah.
What's your blow-up doll's name, Rich?
I haven't given her a name, Stu. I'm not mad.
It is, I think, St. Alphege that tells us how God is a shepherd, watching over us, caring for his hairless human flock. I'm Greg Evigan, Cody Powell in TV's P.S. I Love You, and I wonder, would a truly watchful shepherd allow his loyal sheep to soil their snow-white fleeces in fear when things fall over, spill, and get knocked out of cupboards? This week, beetroot again. Again.
Yeah, it was an access day, and Margaret and Carl had come round to pick up Tim, and they were late. I was in a foul mood. I mean, I'm normally in the Drum and Monkey by 6 o'clock.
Hello, Peter.
You're late.
Come to get Tim.
What time do you call this then, eh?
Tim, come on, love.
Tim. Anyway, he starts having a go at me, saying, why aren't I wearing any trousers, you know? What's this thing?
Stop.
You're the farm tonight, eh? Well, my arm started shaking. It's a stress-related thing. Shot my beetroot juice into old Carl's face. Anyway, the next thing, he's at me like a vermin. Poor old Tim, he has to stand there and watch this teddy boy set upon his own father. Do you know, he saw him, Carl Collingwood, licking baked beans off of Margaret's face. It's not on. In my house, which I paid for, it's damn bloody well not on. A child doesn't know what to make of something like that.
Things do not fall over, do not spill, do not get knocked out of cupboards. The power of Christ compels you. It is no use. Could the Good Shepherd not have stopped the beetroot in midair if he had wished? Yes, but he is contemptuous of his bleeding lambs, so he chooses to stand back and laugh when things get knocked over, spill, or fall out of cupboards. I'm Greg Evigan. Goodbye. I made this.
What are you doing, Stuart?
What am I doing, Rich? I'm drawing yashmaks, right, on pictures of female children's TV presenters in their bras and pants.
Stu, you've made your point now. You can stop.
No, I can't. It's become compulsive because I've realised that religious fundamentalists' desire to conceal and hide the female form, prevent impure thoughts, in fact, only makes it more sexually alluring. They know what they're up to, those popes and rabbis, Rich. In fact, I've decided to launch my own new adult magazine. There it is. What do you think of that?
Fully Clothed Women Monthly.
That's right.
Incorporating religious fundamentalist babes digest.
That's right, Rich. 60 pages of fully dressed women, many of them wearing far more clothes than are strictly necessary, especially in hot countries.
No one's going to buy this, Stu. I wonder, there's some good articles in it. There's one about Leslie
And
Phillips
cars,
here.
yeah. And now the aims for this week. Aim 1 is to try and ease the strain of full-time partying that has driven tragic it girl Tara Palmer-Tompkinson to collapse by getting her a really stressful job in a mine, or a factory, or just getting her a job.
Aim 2 is to send Sean Connery to raise funds for the SNP in any country he can do the accent of.
So, Scotland then.
Mainly
right,
Scotland.
Okay. Aim 3 is to present a solid bronze award to everyone who worked on Channel 4's 11 o'clock show with the phrase, "Yeah, but Ali G was good, though." Move on.
Who's going to copy us now, Stu? Who's going to copy our jokes now they've gone? Aim 4 is to make it illegal for men to go around dressed up as women.
What's your point there?
Nothing, I've told you, nothing happened.
And aim 5 is to make it law that Gail Porter must never be naked anywhere ever again, even in the bath, and must always be wearing at least a minimum of 10 cardigans.
Oh, raise the Jolly Roger! Oh, hello, children. It's me, Histor, Sky TV's time-travelling pirate bird. And, huh? What are you doing, Pliny?
I am raising the Jolly Roger like you asked, Histor. You said raise the Jolly Roger, and I've raised this picture of Roger Moore, who you see is looking jolly. Understand?
No, that is just pathetic.
But Egg, it...
I'm not even going to bother to challenge it.
Oh, sue yourself.
What's the news, Histor?
Well, you may have seen on the grown-up news
The grown-up news.
that scientists think there may be microscopic life on Mars.
What is Mars, Histor? Egg, feather, beak, earth, tip.
To find that out, let's use my time-travelling
Time travel wing.
ability
A bit of wing like a bird's wing.
to go back to the past.
The past, like egg, pasta, egg like a bird's egg.
Come with me now, Pliny, as the crow flies.
Egg with me, egg, Pliny. As the egg.
The chances of anything coming from Mars are millions to one, he said.
What place is this, Histor?
This is Mars, Pliny, the red planet.
The red gannet, like a bird, the gannet. And who is that man coming there, Histor?
That, Pliny, is no one. There is no one there. The chances of anything coming from Mars are 1,000,000 to 1.
A bill, Ian, like a bird's bill. To hen, like a hen. I hate hens. But what are we going to do, Histor? Normally, our adventures in time and space involve us getting into a brief philosophical dialogue with some third party who we meet at our chosen destination.
I know that, Pliny. I deliberately came here to planet Mars because it's quiet and secluded. And there is something private I need to explain to you.
To explain to you, like
yes,
an egg.
yes, okay, now listen, Pliny. You're getting older by the day. But have you ever wondered where baby birds come from?
They come from eggs, Histor. Eggs, egg. I said eggs.
Yes. But where do eggs?
Eggs!
Yes. Where do eggs come from, Pliny?
Oh. I don't know, Histor. And I don't think I want to. It's scary.
Come down here behind these rocks, Pliny, and I will show you something.
No.
It's an alien!
Alien hen, I hate hens.
There is life on Mars after all! Run, Pliny! Run away! Leave my beautiful Pliny alone! Oh, I had so much to teach him! And that explains that. What are you doing now, Pliny?
Well, as you did not like my Jolly Roger, I'm raising some more flags, Histor. The Mad Albert, the Guilty Louise, and the Slimy Johnny.
Oh, I've had enough of this.
What? Well, it's goodbye, chilled hen like a hen.
You're such a Puritan. You are, you're a Puritan, Stu. You're a Puritan. Look at you reading. Stop reading the Bible. We've got to do the show. You're a Puritan.
And now it's time once again to elect the king
Or queen.
of this week's show. And so please welcome the two slaves who will serve him
Or her.
as he
Or she.
is betokened, Trevor and Natalie.
Oh, Natalie and Trevor.
Trevor and Natalie are coming down the stairs.
All going up the stairs.
Trevor and Natalie.
They're dressed in swimwear and bras. And what are they dressed as?
I saw what you'd done, Rich, so I swiftly redressed them appropriately to counterbalance late 90s exploitation of young flesh.
You're a Puritan, Mr. Stew.
Look, you've dressed me literally
as a Puritan.
Trevor, our small-faced man. I just like the Puritan look, Trevor. It's good for you too, the tiny buckles, the tiny shoes, the tiny cuffs, the tiny ruffs. And yet all those things, no matter how tiny they are, none of them serve to make your tiny face look any bigger.
Damn your eyes.
What have you done to Natalie? She looks like Darth Vader.
It's a yashmak, Rich, obviously.
How are we going to compete with Dawson's Creek like this, Stu? Get that off her. What? Another yashmak?
Yep, I double-bagged it. Double sexy, and don't bother pulling them off, Rich. It's yashmaks all the way down.
Oh, she's like a puritanical Russian doll. Damn you, doll.
Now, if you are king or queen of the show, you will get whatever you want from this, the Puritan trolley of pure things. He who would valiant be gainst all disaster. Shut up! And the trolley today, loaded
We like that bit.
with the purest things in the world. Here they are, Renan Keating from Boyzone.
Pure, Stu.
Renan Keating from Boyzone's brain.
Nothing impure in there, Stu. He won't be needing that, will he?
And here, Renan Keating from Boyzone's underwear.
Pure and bright like the light of heaven. And look, Stu, Renan Keating from Boyzone's wee, Stu.
So pure, it makes Malvern water look like the sea around Summerfield.
Wow, I was blind and now I can see.
Oh, hi. You just caught me enjoying a yoghurt.
Or is it a moose?
Well, actually, it's both. It's moose yoghurt. It's not available in the shops yet, but it will be, just as soon as I can find me another moose. Poor Mooey. Now, a lot of people have been writing in saying they're bored of drinking milk out of glasses or bottles, or even direct from the animal itself. And do I have any more interesting suggestions? Well, you can bet your life I do, as you'll find out this week, with shrew milk. How's about this for milk on the go? Delicious and fun. And when the shrews run dry, just stick in another. My shrew hat makes me the life and soul of any party. Just don't make the mistake I did and lend your hat to Richard Gere and Neil Tennant. The milk never tasted the same again. Shrew milk, 10 out of 10. There'll always be milk.
Now, we asked our audience here today for reasons why they should be king of the show. And here are the three ordinary people whose jaunty pleas most impressed us. Right, thank you. And what's your name?
It's Kate.
Kate Denson, age 25. And you said you should be king of the show because you can do a really smart impression of Darth Vader with an empty glass.
That's right.
Show us then, go on.
Okay.
Don't milk it.
Quick.
Never underestimate the power of the dark side of the Force.
That's what Darth Vader would look like if he had a glass.
Richard Felber, age 31. Why should you be king of the show?
Because I've got a bicycle horn.
Because I've got a bicycle horn. That's what he said. Let's see this and prove it. No. There's no need to blow it. We believed you.
And what's your name?
I'm Gabby.
Put the thing up, Stu, so she can speak into it. It's Gabby, and you say you should be king of the show because you can do something freaky with your elbows. What is that thing? Let's see it.
I'll just turn around.
Oh, he's turning around.
Enough.
You're sick.
Now, the studio audience will democratically choose their monarch with the aid of this, our puritanical Puritanometer.
So, here you go. So if you like number one, who can't do an impression of Darth Vader, applaud now.
And the Puritanometer going into the 50s there.
If you... Yeah, all right, that's enough. Wasn't that good? If you like number two, who has a bicycle horn,
there it is.
Applaud now.
Going way up into the 50s and 60s there, into the 70s.
And if you like number three there, Gabby, who can do that thing with her elbows, applaud now.
Queen Gabby, you're the winner.
Crown the Queen, take the balls away.
Crown the King. Puritan King. King thing. Any early...
Gabby.
King Gabby. Any early restrictions?
Things you'd like to see restricted. Beards on women, perhaps. The Queen or King
Did
has
not
spoken
speak.
or remained silent. Give a round of applause.
Fear not, Martha. Roll away the stone. Lazarus, come forth. Unwrap him now.
I live. You're having a laugh, ain't you?
Something the matter, Lazarus?
Oh,
Well, thanks for raising me up from the dead and all, but I was just wondering, am I, like, immortal now, then? Only if I am just going to die again in a few years' time, having been through all the, well, you know, the agony of dying once and the grief on my poor family. I think it would be a bit unfair to put me through all that again.
Ah, Lazarus, my poor fool. Do you not see? Ah.
No, what?
He who believes in me, though he dies, yet will he live. Ah.
What, literally?
Ah.
No, not art. Will I literally live again, though I be dead? Will I actually be alive?
No. You know,
No, forget art. I mean, I was in heaven, paradise. Now I'm back in stinking biblical times. Hello? No, not art. Look, you've come down here without being asked, and you've raised me up from the dead like a Dracula.
Ah.
No, not art. Look, 1 minute, I'm in there all stiff.
Stiff.
Don't laugh,
you know, he's got a point, Jesus. I mean, I've already splashed out for one funeral for him. I mean, who's going to pay for the next one?
No, forget art. Look, listen to the question, eh? Who is going to pay for the funeral? Are you going to pay?
Well,
are you going to pay?
Well, I don't believe in material wealth.
Believe in material wealth? Oh, well, that's very convenient, isn't it, Mr. Hosanna, hey, Zanna, ho.
Look, I've come here, right, and I've raised you from the dead, and you just throwing it back in my face.
You were just showing off.
Yes, you're just trying to prove some obscure philosophical point that could just as easily have been demonstrated with a parable or, I don't know, puppets or lilies or something. Come, clear off.
All right, I'll go then.
Good, and take your filthy disciples with you.
I'll get my dad on you.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. You might want to think about changing.
Yeah, you're right. He's don't look too good today.
Maybe a bath.
Hey, what's that? What are you eating?
It's sherbet, Stu.
Sherbet?
Everyone at the BBC is always eating it.
All right.
They leave trails of it lying around everywhere, on the dressing room tables, on top of toilets. Some of them have so much sherbet they finish their licorice before the sherbet and have to suck it up what's left through rolled up banknotes,
Yeah,
Stu.
I don't think you should eat it in those quantities, Rich. It will make you mad and ill. It will.
Believe me, Stu, I've never felt better in my life. I'm ready for anything in the world can throw at me. Come on, Stu, I've got an idea for a new quiz show, right? Like Have I Got News for You, but it's called Have I Got Flowers for You, Stu. It's about flowers. I've got an idea for an advert, right?
Yeah.
Why don't we copy the full Monty,
Yeah, all right,
but
okay.
it's with cheese.
Yeah, all right.
Naked cheese.
Yeah.
No monkeys.
No,
the
all right.
full monkey like that.
Yeah.
They wouldn't expect that.
Okay.
Come on, yeah. It's brilliant.
Oh, what's that sound? Has the sherbet upset your stomach, Rich?
No, Stu, it's my tattoo of Robbie Williams. It's alive. It loves sherbet, Stu. Give me some of that sherbet, Richie. No, Robbie, you'll only eat too much and then get all fat, behave erratically, and start hanging around with Oasis again. Please, Rich, it's the whiz that gives me fizz. All right, Robbie, here's some. Could it be magical? Look, Stu, look at Robbie. He's fat, he's thin.
Yeah.
He's fat, he's thin.
That's like in real life.
Fat,
Ladies and gentlemen, the
he's thin.
speaking Robbie
He's
Williams
fat, he's
tattoo.
thin. I love it.
The speaking.
wait till the end of the show, Stu. Got my girlfriend waiting for me out in the car.
In the car?
Well, in the car
In the car
boot,
boot,
Stu. It
yeah.
saves the embarrassment, people staring.
Yeah, Rich, think of
staring.
that doll's feelings, right? That doll is designed to satisfy your carnal needs. Every time you just take it out to the cinema or for dinner or something, you're breaking its little air-filled rubber heart.
She loves going out, Stu. If you look at her little face, it's almost as if she understands.
Yeah, all right. I mean, and what expression does she have on her little face as she understands?
It's kind of,
You are sick. You're sick. You are sick.
Well, you're a Puritan.
I am.
Puritan.
Saying it in a staccato fashion doesn't make it any more true.
You're a Puritan.
Saying it in a high voice doesn't make it any more true.
Puritan.
Ladies and gentlemen, time to welcome once more the latest addition to our grotesque mockery of the nuclear family. It's the Curious Alien.
Puritan.
Hello, the Curious Alien. Yes, well, I know.
This is no good, Stu. It's just not as good as the Curious Orange.
It's good.
I miss him, that's all. We want him back, don't we, everyone?
No, this is really good, honestly.
It isn't.
It is.
It isn't. You can't understand a word
can.
it's saying, Stu.
You can, Rich. You just have to listen like Matthew Corbett with Sooty. That's what it's like. OK, go on, the Curious Alien. Tell us, what have you been curious about this week? Yep. This week, Mr. Stew. Yeah. Yep. I'm very curious about this little conundrum. He's curious about the extent to which his appearance infringes the copyright owned on the H.R. Geiger design of Aliens. Isn't that what's curious, isn't it, from the Alien
And
film?
what's the answer, Stu?
Oh, the answer is it doesn't, as you've been very carefully designed by Colin Mapson to be ever so slightly different to the other alien. I know it hardly seems any different, but I'm advised it would stand up in a court of entertainment law. Because, you know, Curious Alien, there isn't another creature like you in the world, you know? Nothing like you in the whole universe. Yes, Curious Alien, there's only you. Yep. No mother. And no father. You're one of a kind, you are. One of a kind. But you're special, you know, and me and Mr. Rich, we love you more than we love life itself.
I don't. I think he's rubbish.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Curious Alien.
Acid on me, Stu. Acid. Acid on me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charles and myself...
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
...shall now perform for you a medley of hits of the 70s.
Take it away, yeah.
Well, basically, our act was we'd come on stage and we'd sing punk rock songs of the day in a sort of Noel Coward way.
That was basically it, really.
Oh, I am an anarchist. I am an antichrist.
I know what I want, but I know how to get it.
I want to destroy passers-by. I want to burn.
Anarchy.
And that's jazz.
I can't say that I personally look back on that period with any particular pride.
Well, I thought it was quite good.
It was quite good, but it wasn't particularly sophisticated.
Yes, I know, but I think you began to ignore the entire kind of political agenda behind it.
I was perfectly aware of the agenda, Ian. It was simply an agenda that I didn't particularly agree with. At the end of the day, they were
Well,
just...
I think that actually the audience began to realise that towards the end.
The audience
yes.
began to realise that they were just silly songs and that we were having a laugh. And yes, it provided some entertainment, and that was it. It wasn't high art.
The revolution will begin Friday at tea time. Come dressed for rioting. No more heroes anymore. No more heroes anymore. No more heroes anymore. No more heroes.
There's a kind of degree of avant-gardism, if you'd like, that I think was just not replicated since or before.
Avant-gardism?
Well, of course.
Doing punk rock songs in an old coward way.
It wasn't just that.
I thought that we were being ironic. We were actually taking the avant-garde and we were actually doing something sophisticated and witty with it, supposedly, which in itself is a nice idea, and yes, it was
Well,
entertaining.
anyway, it finished, and you've had 15 years of rep, and I hope you enjoyed them.
Yeah, not so young.
Rich, you're at your shrine to the cause again, aren't
My
you?
gosh, I do. When would you ever learn? Ah, have you been messing around in my course shrine, Stu?
No.
You have, Stu. Someone's put yashmaks all over the course.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
You did. It's been ruined. You've ruined
Your
my
shrine was ruined anyway, Rich. You've been scribbling all over the bloke from the cause.
It's a man called Stu. Call him by his
all right,
name.
all right.
Actually, I'm taking my inflatable girlfriend to see the cause this week, Stu.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Their Celtoid fusion of soft rock and trip-hop beats would probably appeal to someone whose head is full of air.
Very rude. I'm hoping Andrea will see me in the audience with the inflatable doll and be filled with jealousy and agree to go out with me.
Yeah. Women are always very attracted to short, ugly men who drag blow-up dolls with them everywhere they go.
Work for Mick Hucknall, Stu.
What does that mean? None of those things apply to Mick Hucknall.
They lost, Stu.
Well,
that's all that matters.
doesn't make any sense.
That's what I'm here for. That's what I crave. That
Doesn't
laughter,
make any
Stu.
sense.
Feed me.
Doesn't make any sense.
Feed me, please, or I'll die.
Planet of the Apes. Current plot. Right-wing rifle enthusiast Charlton Heston stars as an astronaut who lands on a planet which is a bit like Earth, except that intelligent apes rule over stupid humans. He battles for his survival and eventually escapes with his mute female companion along the beach for freedom. Suddenly he stops and stares up in disbelief.
Oh, my God! No! No! They did it! Those crazy bastards! They really did it! No! No!
The Statue of Liberty is buried in the sand. Heston realizes the planet was Earth all along.
Extra final scene.
Heston pulls himself together and says,
I suppose it's probably just a coincidence. I mean, I was quite happy to accept this alien planet had evolved exactly the same creatures and plants as on Earth, and that those bloody baboons talked English. So why shouldn't they have built a similar statue?
and so he rides on.
Coincidence.
He rides on.
Serendipity.
He rides on.
No, it isn't.
And then he rides on and on. And it is his refusal to accept incontrovertible evidence that later lands Heston the job of spokesman of the American National Rifle Association.
That's right. Ian Lee, you are Ian Lee. Stuck in a Charlton Heston.
Wait. Was that your girlfriend on the back of that horse in that film?
Yes, Stu. I told her I'd get her on TV. I expect she'll show her gratitude tonight in her own special way.
Oh, you're sick. You're sick.
There weren't any cows on the Planet of the Apes, were there?
No, there weren't any cows,
no. There were horses, but no cows.
Yeah, no cows, no.
So where do you think the apes got their milk from,
I don't
Stu?
know, Rich, where that came
That'd
from.
be a much more frightening film if you asked me. The Planet of the No Milk.
Yeah.
Except maybe horses' milk.
And ape milk as well.
They wouldn't drink their own, Stu.
Okay.
I know, I've tried to make them. They just spit it back in your face, the bloody baboons.
Ah, you're sick.
So, will there come a day when apes will rule over men, forcing us to do their monkey will? I, for one, hope so. But I know a man who knows for sure. It's Nostradamus and his horse, David Collins! Hello there, Nostradamus.
Whoa!
He's flighty today, isn't he?
Oh, he's very flighty.
He must have been spooked.
Oh, I don't know.
First, let's look at your three predictions from last week. Remember, two of these correct means you will win this top-of-the-range garden barbecue.
Oh, I do hope I win it this week. I got some lovely chops in my freezer.
All right then, Nostradamus. Come on, here's your mark. Now look at the board. Now, Nostradamus, last week you said that EastEnders would be BBC One's most watched programme. The news said... Correct! What a great start that is.
It happens every week. It happens at...
Stu, why are you so sceptical about Nostradamus' ability?
Because you make it easy for him, because you obviously fancy him. That is why.
Don't be stupid, Stu. Nostradamus is a man.
Yes, I am a man. And the Holy Bible tells us that our love between us would be wrong.
How can something that feels so right be wrong?
No, it can't be!
Second second, you said that York City would lose 3-1 to Bournemouth. The news said... No, in fact, they only lost 1-0. So that's another Chinese burn for you. Your legs are a long way back today, Nostradamus. There you go.
It's almost as if they're not real, isn't it?
There you go. And it's so serious, I'm going to have to give you a wedgie as well.
Oh, my pants are cutting into my undercarriage! But I like it. Father Rich, hurt me! Oh, I'm a bad mistake.
Stop that now.
You're a Puritan.
I am not, I
you.
just like the clothes.
Right, you need to get this one right to win the barbecue, OK? Thirdly, you said that you, Nostradamus, would once again fail to win the barbecue. The news said... Yes, you were right. You failed to win the barbecue, which means 2 out of 3 correct. You've won the barbecue! Which means prediction 3's wrong, so you failed to win the barbecue. Which means you win the barbecue. Which means you don't win the barbecue. Which means you do win the barbecue.
Oh no! That's a parallax. Like some rubbish episode of Star Trek before it was good.
It's a prediction board, Captain. She can't handle it.
Looks like you're right then. You didn't win the barbecue. Ha ha!
But can I have the fence as a consolation?
The fence is not on offer.
All right, never mind, Nostradamus. There's always next week. What are your predictions for next week?
Prediction number 1. Reef will play the Royal Albert Hall on Tuesday. Show starts 7 p.m.
That's not a prediction. That's just something you've read in a listings magazine, isn't it?
Prediction number 2. The United States of America will sink into the sea. And prediction number 3. Richard Herring and myself should share a lingering kiss and then go back to my place for sausage for my loving new barbecue. I'm ever so good at blowing, Auntie.
And can you come back next week to see if you get those correct?
Yes, I can.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nostradamus and his horse, David Collins! Nostradamus.
Hello, this is Simon Quinlan talking with his mouth and tongue and their muscles. I am the Obergruppenführer of all hobbies and the Il Duce of most recreations. Here is another hobby that you can try to do. Although this week's hobby is a comparatively easy one, and even idiots like you may be able to do this hobby. What you will need for this hobby: some legs, a guide to the hostelries of Britain, a flask of weak lemon drink, and a public house! This hobby is a good hobby if you enjoy using pub lavatories without having to pay anything for the privilege. This hobby is called the Using Pub Lavatories Without Having to Pay Anything for the Privilege hobby. What you will need to do for this week's hobby: first, drink your weak lemon drink. Drink it for free whilst laughing at the idiots inside who are drinking their drinks which they've paid money for.
Look at you, idiots! Look at you! Look at you! Why didn't you bring your own drinks? Answer me!
When you have finished your weak lemon drink, you must wait for the call of nature. I can now feel the pressure of the weak lemon drink in my bladder pressing against my urethra. It is now time to use the pub lavatory. However, you must go stealthily, my hobby acolytes, for if the pub landlord catches you using his lavatory without paying anything for the privilege, he may well eject you from his pub. I have sneaked into the pub lavatory without paying anything at all for the privilege. Now all I have to do is excrete my weak lemon drink, and then I can cross off the Swan pub for my guide to the hostelries of Britain.
Excuse me, sir. Have you purchased a drink, Mr.
Yes, I have also weak lemon drink.
No, not from my bar, you didn't, Quinlan. Get out of it, come on.
But you don't understand, I have to excrete my weak lemon drink. It is my hobby.
I need you rubbish. Your bar! Down! You get out! Get out, Quinlan! Nonsense.
This hobby is a good hobby, as long as you don't get caught by the bullet-headed bully landlord. I need to go. Goodbye.
And next week's King of the Show will be our tallest viewer, so email or write to us if you think you may be by next Thursday and say how tall you are in feet and inches in your stockinged feet. And remember, yeah, we don't get many viewers, so you may not need to be that tall to win. Stop eating that sherbet.
That's
Stop
it, Stuart, that's it, I've finished. That's my last sherbet I'm ever going to have. That's it. No more. Not today, not this week, not never.
OK, right, good. Now, in the news this week, you may have...
Stu,
Yeah?
You haven't got any sherbet, have you?
No, you just...
It's just I've eaten all mine. I just need a little bit more just to get me through to the end of the show, like,
Well,
you know.
you know, I can't believe this. You were just saying a minute ago you weren't going to have any more sherbet ever.
So I changed my mind! A man's allowed to change his mind, isn't he?
OK, well, you know...
Oh, for God's sake, you're such a Puritan.
I am
You're
not
puritanical,
I am
you
not
are.
puritanical.
Come on, Stu, please. I only want a little bit. No. I hate you! We've always been friends, Stu, come on. I loved you in that Lazarus sketch earlier when you went, oh, that was brilliant. You know, in the letters, when you go, yeah, I think you're brilliant, Stu. You're fantastic. So, can I have some sherbet?
I haven't got any sherbet.
Oh, well, screw you!
Right.
Screw you and your hat! I don't care about you! I've got other friends, you know, like that bloke there. Ian Pitch Shifter. He's my friend. Give me some sherbet! Go on, oh, you've got
And now
some!
this.
Look at your
Now
beard,
this.
you must have some! Look at this! Look at that, you've definitely got some!
For it is written in Corinthians that food is meant for the stomach, and the stomach for food. I know it may seem a little bit obvious, but I just thought I'd make sure. You know what some people are like.
Just got your girlfriend here.
What's that, my girl? Who dressed her up like this?
I did, she was lewd.
Stu, actually, Stu, looking at her in this yashmak,
Yeah.
I can see what you mean about them being sexy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I think
good, isn't it?
tonight could be the night with a bit... Oh, no! It's the curious alien, Stu! If he were to bite her... No! Oh, she bursted, Stu!
Yeah.
Oh, look, she's going...
That's the end of the show. If you want to write to us, address us later. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Mr. Grimsdale, whoa! 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 No, my lovely girlfriend! Come back! I love you so!
Oi.
No, please! No! Please! God, you God, for making me this way! Why? Please. Right, sure, Gov. Oh, the BBC, eh? Because I used to work on the TV, you know. Oh, yeah. I used to have my own show. The Curious Orange Show. Yeah. Incredible times. Did you ever see it?
No.
No. Well, I packed it in. I didn't really like the people I was working with.
BBC TV Centre, please.
So, are you a big cheese up at the bead then? Because I can do anything. Singing, presenting to weather. Yeah, I mean, I've got a few things at the moment, but, you know, I'm sure I can get round it.
I'm in a bit of a hurry, so if we could just...
I mean, I'm just filling in for my brother, you know, the minicab.
If we could just go...
Well, I haven't actually got any feet. So if you can come up the front and press the pedals, I can do the steering.
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh, come on. Come back. Give me another chance. I need this. 1, 2, 2, 1, oh, say my power! Hello, I'm Julia Roberts, and I am a film star.
And I'm Elizabeth Liz Hurley, and I'm a film star too.
No, you're not.
I am. I was in Passenger 57
Yeah.
and Beyond Bedlam. It's a
you're
good film.
No. Try to les up now. Come on.
Wake up! Get out of bed, put on your clothes, another day is dawning. Turn on your TV, time to watch This Morning with Richard Not Judy. For better, not worse, it's live, not rehearsed, made for no money, not for anybody. Welcome your hosts and convictions, do they have no idea? So let's see how they do on This Morning with Richard Not Judy.
Judy.
And my name is what? My name is what? My name is what? My name is Hecka, 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 Hecka.
Can't be bothered with that. And coming up later in the show.
At 12:25, we'll be looking at another of Channel 5's original pieces of programming, One Man and His Dog, where the one man is H from Steps and his dog is a very hungry Rottweiler.
And at 12:30, me and Rich will be looking forward to a nightmare vision of our own horrible future by watching the new BBC One Hale and Pace series.
No, my face! Pace has got my face, Stu!
Think of the money, Norman.
OK, at 12:40, we'll be sacking everyone at the BBC who has ever taken cocaine, leaving the station with a skeleton staff of 4 Herd, Grandpa Flump and 1 of the Blue Peter Cat.
And at 12:49, we'll be meeting Britain's jauntiest shepherd.
Doesn't look particularly jaunty.
Yes, but look at that, look at his hat, the jaunty angle of it.
No, I don't agree with this week. And please welcome at the piano, music's answer to Rick Wakeman, pianist Richard Thomas.
You've been washing in gravy again, Richard, have you?
Yeah.
You never wash in gravy. Don't do that. Bad pianist.
I said pianist.
So did I.
What have you been up to this week, Stu?
Well, this week I've been going into every newsagent's in the UK and taking down all the copies of this month's FHM that I can find with the cover of Gail Porter's scrawny Kentucky Fried Chicken, bargain bucket breast, airbrush bum, newly hat photos, raptor fetus body, and drawing a yashmak on it like that. And then putting them back on the shelf. Put your clothes on, Gail. Spare yourself a shred of dignity and spare the nation in turn the sick-making sight of your wrinkly walnut bum. You look like a tiny naked child. There's something very strange about it, and I don't want to see it at the shops first thing in the morning. What were you thinking of? Get dressed, wear a yashmak, and then let's see if you still get offered alive and kicking.
Cody Powell in TV's P.S. I Love You. And I wonder, would a truly watchful shepherd allow his loyal sheep to soil their snow-white fleeces in fear when things fall over, spill, and get knocked out of cupboards? This week, beetroot again. Again.
Yeah, it was an access day, and Margaret and Carl had come round to pick up Tim, and they were late. I was in a foul mood. I mean, I'm normally in the Drum and Monkey by 6 o'clock.
Hello, Peter.
You're late.
Time to get Tim.
What time do you call this then?
Tim, come on, love.
Tim. Anyway, he starts having a go at me, saying, why aren't I wearing any trousers, you know? What's this thing? You're the farm tonight, eh? Well, my arm started shaking. It's a stress-related thing. Shot my beetroot juice into old Carl's face. Anyway, the next thing, he's at me like a vermin. Poor old Tim, he has to stand there and watch this teddy boy set upon his own father. Do you know, he saw him, Carl Collingwood, licking baked beans off of Margaret's face.
Job.
Some kind of problem, Stu?
No problem.
The thing about you, you're puritanical, Stu. It's just a bit of fun, Martin, harmless fun. You're a Puritan.
I am not a Puritan, Rich, at all. If anything, I'm jaunty.
You're talking, look at you, you've got a puritanical hat, a Bible and everything.
I'm not a Puritan. I just like the Puritan look, Rich. You know, it doesn't mean I'm a Puritan. It's like Lily Savage, right? He dresses up in women's clothes, but that doesn't mean he's a woman, does it?
What? Lily Savage isn't a woman?
No, he's not, no.
Oh, it's just that...
What?
Nothing, leave it, all right? Nothing, OK?
Anyway, what have you been up to this week?
Nothing, I said! Just forget it! Nothing happened, all right? It didn't happen.
A young man came up to me the other day and said, "What will my friends say when I tell them that I am a Christian?" "Oh, my poor young fellow," I replied, "they will say that you are a nerd and a wally and a fruitcake, and they will call you a brainless, foolish spamoid, and they will take down your trousers in the playground in front of all the girls, and they will rub sticky lollipops into your hair and then run away laughing, laughing, laughing. But later, when you become a TV vicar, they will regret their foolishness. Won't they, Simon Tufnell? Won't they Martin Bird? Won't they Alan Blackmore? Won't they Geoffrey Webb? Won't they Nicola Robinson? Won't they, oh, so witty, Mr. Tompkin from the PE department? Could I have a bun, please, someone? Quick as you like.
Well, it's been a great year for breasts this year, hasn't it, Stu? Women can now have a little valve fitted under their arm, which can be used to inflate or deflate their breasts whenever they want.
Yes, of course, you've had a girlfriend with a valve who can be inflated and deflated some time now, haven't you, Rich?
No.
No, you see what I'm saying? I'm saying that your girlfriend is a blow-up doll.
No, that isn't true, Stuart.
No, it is.
I don't have a girlfriend.
No, you do, and it's a blow-up doll. That's my joke.
Yes, Stuart, it's right, it is true. I do have a blow-up doll for a girlfriend, but your joke sullies her reputation. That's all women are to you, isn't it? Sex objects.
No, Rich, that's all blow-up dolls are to me.
You can't treat a doll with respect. What hope do you have with a real woman?
Your argument doesn't make any sense. Blow-up women are sex objects by definition, Rich.
Well, mine isn't. We haven't actually been intimate yet. We're waiting for the right time, when it feels right for both of us. At the moment, I just take her out to dinner or to the movies, then I walk her home.
Walk her home?
Well, drag her home. Unless it's windy, in which case I tie a piece of string to her and sort of fly her back.
What, like a balloon?
Yeah, similar to that, yeah.
What's your blow-up doll's name, Rich?
I haven't given her a name, Stu. I'm not mad.
It is, I think, St. Alphege that tells us how God is a shepherd, watching over us, caring for his hairless human flock. I'm Greg Evigan.